Hello, friends. How are you? Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have been so overwhelmed by wedding everything, and it was a little bit of everything, right? And keeping up the podcast during this time was a little bit of a challenge for me. My team, my amazing team that is in Macedonia, they, Europeans, right? They take a long holiday. They were off for the entire month of July. So I had to advance prep and then do the wedding prep. And it just amounted to a lot for me. So I found myself pretty stressed and my brain just felt full. I couldn't remember the most simple things. And I think I'm still recovering from it. I was about to light some Palo Santo. I'm going to do that right now. So I really just felt like my brain got so full. And so, cut to this episode, I really, my priority is being consistent with this podcast, right? And really offering quality content, of course. So I was like, I'm getting this episode out after the wedding because I've had so many people reach out and say, what did you do to prepare for the wedding? You look great, very complimentary. Thank you. I did work at it. And I'm actually turning 53 next week. And so, that requires some dialing in, right? It doesn't happen just by itself, even though it sure would be nice if it did. But I am here to offer hope and guidance in transformation and feeling your best in your 50s because I want everyone to know that if you're 35 and listening to this, you have so much time and anything can happen and you have opportunities. I mean, look at freaking like J-Lo, right? Her body is banging, probably her best ever. And it's mind blowing. So we have this capacity to transform at any age, which I'm preaching ad nauseum. And so I wanted to hop on this week and really offer what I did to anyone that's wondering and anyone that's like, oh my gosh, is my life over at X insert age? The answer is no, it's not. I hold out hope that I'm going to be even better in my 60s, which is trippy to think about because I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be in my 60s. I see differences, right? Like your skin is different, that kind of thing. But then I go, you know what? I didn't expect this at 53. So here we are, right? And plus, I am married to someone now who is 15 years younger than me. And so that's kind of a mind trip in itself because I wanted to be my best. I don't want to look like his mom, his mother's only about 6 years older than me. So I don't want I don't want that to be a thing. I don't know. It might be someday, but he doesn't see it that way. And neither do I, right? We feel like we're the same age. And so I did some advanced prep. So let's talk about what went on. I've got a nice list here. I'm going to preview what we're going to talk about today. And then we're going to go through it one by one. And I hope that you can take something away because I want to be completely candid and honest about what I did and why I did it to prepare for the wedding. And also because I wanted to be my best at this age. Right? I see these women that are aging like better than fine wine. These women are aging like rock stars. A lot of them are rock stars. But I want to be one of those, right? I want to show people. That's always been a big MO of mine, right? I want to show people what is possible. One of the reasons I had my whole music career, if we want to call it that, is because I wanted to show my daughters that you could do anything you want at any age. Everything else be damned. And you know what? I think it's rubbed off. And like they say things from time to time that shows me that they see that. And they're so outspoken more than I ever was. Anyway, warms my heart. I got to tell you, really does. Okay, so let's jump in. What are we going to cover today? And first of all, thank you to the people who asked me this or reached out or commented or anything. I am just honored and also thank you for recognizing that I did put in hard work and I want to keep it up And that is something I talk about on this show. That is how I live my life, right? About transformation, feeling your best, loving yourself through it all, which is something that we'll talk about too. So, okay, we're going to talk about overwhelm. We're going to talk about weight loss. We're going to talk about testing and nutrition and functional nutrition. We're going to talk about hormones and thyroidism, which were my particular issues. We're going to talk about resetting with both prescriptions and diet. We're going to talk about getting moving and my workout routine. We're going to talk about supplements and consistency. We're going to talk about relationship and emotional preparation. We're going to talk about the reality of a big event in your life and the stress of that and the toll that it took on me and what can possibly happen. And we are going to talk about my face. I was like, there's something that wasn't on the list. My face, because I know that that is like something people ask too. What are you doing to your face? And if you follow me, I've done it all. So let's get to it. Again, thanks. Okay. So number one, the overwhelm. Like I mentioned, managing the podcast, Fight for the Forgotten, Justin, my kids, my home, all the stuff, right? Look at your own life, right? You have all these different facets, all these different things. Everything felt like just exacerbated because I was planning this wedding and I was constantly panicking. Are we spending too much money? Constantly thinking, who did I forget to invite? Whose feelings am I hurting? Do I have to manage everyone? So it was all of that because I'm a people pleaser in recovery and I want to make people happy. So I wanted to feel grounded throughout all this chaos. And so there's a lot of overwhelm that goes with planning any event or any big thing that comes along in your life, even if it's a move or just a life change, maybe having a kid or maybe an illness or a parent passing away, right? You name it, you're going to have that overwhelm. And so it's maintaining consistency for long term. And my motto has always been, do it more often than you don't. And whether it's eating or working out or whatever it is. And I don't get me wrong. I have certainly had times when I didn't, right? I was not doing it way more, whatever it is, going for a walk or exercise, whatever. And thinking that would be okay. And you know what? It's not really. Do it more often than you don't is just a great policy for absolutely anything. And it's all a practice, right? Whether we're talking about meditation, whether we're talking about a self-care item, right? I mean, brushing your teeth is probably, yes, do that more often than you don't. That's an everyday thing. But I think, the larger things, like let's say exercise, do it more often than you don't. Eating healthy, do it more often than you don't. I mean, it shocks me. Even just yesterday, I was feeling a little anxious. I was feeling a little high strung, a little something, right, from my caffeine intake. So I thought, let me just eat something healthy. I had an avocado toast and boom, felt better. I was like, oh yeah, duh, eat healthy, right? It's not rocket science, but we treat it like it is, especially with all we're thrown on social media, especially if you're interested in this, right? So your social media is going to come at you with all these different things. I saw a woman recently and she was young and, stunning. And the amount of stuff she's doing blew my head off. It was like some sort of castor oil wrap around her midsection that she slept in, along with mouth taping and a nasal strip and I don't know. It was long. And I just thought, golly, that is so much to hold yourself up to, like this standard that you feel like you have to complete all the time. And for me, it's a lot. So if you're busy, then I want to talk to you, right? I want to tell you, you don't have to do all those things to feel your best at whatever age. So let's get into it. So first off, let's start with weight loss. I had gained about 40 pounds. Isn't that wild? I weighed what I weighed at 9 months pregnant. and maxed out. And I'm 5'8", roughly. I'm just under. And so a healthy weight for me is about, I don't know, anywhere between 135 and 145. And I got up to, at my highest, probably 185. And I was hanging then. I would try to get down a little bit. None of my clothes fit. And I was doing this show. You can see me. And I kind of balance it out, right? I gain weight all over. So it's not as easy for people to notice, but I definitely didn't fit in anything. And I knew, and I didn't feel good. My knees hurt, my feet hurt. And the reason I had gained weight was because, and I'm not blaming addiction and all that, but I definitely didn't feel safe. And I was eating to cope when Justin went through recovery, when he went to treatment, and this was years ago, right? 2021. And it just started to creep up. And I used eating as a coping strategy, which I've talked about a lot on this show. If you've watched any of the eating coaches that I've talked to, any emotional eating, I'm an emotional eater. I'm a chipaholic. I love chips. And so it had become a habit. Plus, I had gotten out of my workout routine that I really loved. During the pandemic, I was thriving. I just went for walks every day for about, I don't know, 30 to 45 minutes. And then I did a really simple circuit routine. I would do like, I don't know, standing jumps, push-ups or dips, some kettlebell swings, and an ab something, right? And like do 3 rounds of that. And I looked better than ever. And I was like, whoa, this works. Keeping it really simple. Well, I just let all that go I'm not sure why. I think I just got lazy. And I really got steeped in loving myself no matter what, which was actually a good thing because I loved myself more, even when I gained weight, than I ever had. And for that, I pat myself on the back. Like that is so unconditional and so beautiful. And it was still one of the happiest times of my life. And yet I knew that if we were going to get married and have a wedding, I wanted to feel my best and look my best. And I just wanted to feel my best and look my best anyway for all that I do, for my life, for my kids, for this show, for everything that I put out, for the woman that I want to be and that I know I can be. And also because I didn't want to buy new clothes too, right? Like, you're like, gosh, I want to fit in my things. I created a wardrobe room and I wanted to fit in my clothes. So a lot of things came together and I did desire to fit back in my clothes and to feel good in my own skin and to really be able to look good naked and feel good naked. Now, let me just talk about Justin for a second. Justin didn't even notice. Like he never said a word about it. Like, man, like that's love, right? Really cool. So anyway, it was a year of focused work. From a little over a year ago, we decided on a date of the wedding, August 8th. And I thought, you know what? I'm really going to figure this out and see what I have to do. Okay. So one of the things I did, now we're going to get into testing and nutrition. And I'm going to talk about testing in a couple different ways. So one of the things I did, I interviewed Risa Grew. Risa was in episode 193, I believe it is. It's How to Heal Your Gut for Total Wellness. And she talks about weight loss is a side effect of wellness. Hell yeah, right? And so that's really what I wanted, right? I wanted it a side effect of wellness overall. And so I after interviewing her and hearing how she had healed her own thyroidism and gotten her wellness under control, and she's I believe in her 60s. She is a badass. If you haven't listened to that episode, I highly encourage it. It trips me out. So incredible. So her approach is all about autoimmune healing, clean nutrition, reducing sugar, detoxing. And so she runs all your tests. It didn't come cheap. I'm not going to lie. It didn't come cheap. We had to spend some money on it, but I wanted Justin to do it too because he's had malaria like 4 times and we didn't know what was going on with his gut. And I've never done GI testing and it is really gross, y'all. And I even told Risa, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. It's too disgusting. And she was like, I know, it's so gross, but you got to do it. So I did it. So yeah, it's exactly what you think it is. It's gross. And so I did it and the blood work. I did the blood work in conjunction with Ways to Well, which you know that I have used for many years. And so that's kind of nice because I've been able to track it over the years. If you haven't heard my episode with Brigham Bueller, who is now a regular on Rogan, it is my top performing show now. Thanks, Rogan. But it's really good. I mean, so, so good. So that's one of the reasons I use Ways to Well. And so did all these things, and we started that December. And I was already, so backing up a little bit, I did talk to Ways to Well around August, September, something like that of last year. She had offered me a GLP-1 tirzepatide, which is it's not the semaglutide, which is the generic for Ozempic. It's the generic for the other one that's escaping me. And so I had initially said no. I had tried semaglutide a few years back when I turned 50, and it made me so sick and nauseous. I thought I had COVID for a couple weeks. I couldn't do it. So anyway, I was like, you know what? I want to try it. And so I tried a really low dose, and I did it for about 4 months. And no shame, right? Like if you're thinking about it, I say try it, do a low dose. It helped me reduce that food noise that I had become a habit for me. It helped me walk in the grocery store aisle and not want chips and not want the salty things that I always want and dips. And so it helped me reduce the food noise in my own brain. And I decided it was a training tool so I could start eating healthy. And so I think I did it for about 4 months, maybe something like that. And I did have some muscle loss. So I noticed that and I wanted to build my muscle back up and wanted to drop off that. But I did drop the weight. It helped me as I dialed in my own workouts and went back to just walking and a simple circuit. I joined the gym. I point that way because it was just right down the road, right? I have to have some place convenient. And I started doing that and really started resetting my whole systems. So I think if you're going to use that, I would recommend what I did is actually retrain everything you're doing along with it. So you're resetting all your habits. And I noticed, so now I'm off of it. And I noticed just yesterday, I'm at the grocery store and I noticed some of that food noise creeping back in. And I was able to almost detach myself from it, to step out of it and go, oh, there's that food noise. I know that. And I can make healthier decisions. And I didn't buy the stuff, but I saw it. I saw these new pickle flavored goldfish. They look dill pickle goldfish. That looks good. And I didn't do it. And I allow myself to eat what I want when I go out to eat. But I really just was able at least to recognize it in a different way. And I wasn't like succumbing to it. I wasn't it wasn't my master, right? It wasn't like something I'm beholden to. And so I was able to just go, oh, I'm going to go home. I know I have food prepped and I'm going to throw together a bowl and I'm going to eat something healthy, right? And that's a key for me too, is food prepping. So I am just now in a habit of constantly making hummus, keeping cut up veggies around, mainly carrots, and then I'll throw them in my air fryer and, have like fries that are carrot fries, stuff like that. And so I'm constantly staying tuned into my own brain and where I am around that. So that helped me so much. And I dabbled with it just a tiny bit, like maybe early in the summer, just to make sure I was ready for the wedding and keep that food noise down. And so anyway, I did do it. And a lot of people have, and a lot of people don't talk about it. I actually know someone on social media who goes on and on about all her blood work and her estrogen and how it helped her lose weight. Well, it's not true. It's not the truth. Be careful. A lot of these people are preaching things when they're actually using a GLP-1. And so I don't find any shame in it. If you want to judge me, go right ahead. It's okay. I don't mind. Judge away. And so, but I just want to be completely forthcoming about that. So that was really interesting. So dialed in my nutrition, and then so that was backing up a little bit, and then dialing in that nutrition worked on, I interviewed Risa, and then also the woman from Prolon, Renee Fitton. So she talks about resetting yourself with fasting mimicking diets from Prolon. And so I did both of those. And so with Risa, I did her program, which is a cleanse, but it is not hardcore. It's basically cutting out gluten and sugar and all those things. So you get a gut reset, and then you build back on top of that. And then she goes through all your supplements and really dials in what you need according to your own blood work. So that is really, really cool. And cutting out sugar was so great. Now I'm using monk fruit only in my coffee every morning. And I look at labels so much more than I even did before. And do you have that Bobby Approved app? That app is so good if you don't have it. Bobby, I think his name is Bobby Parrish. He's on Instagram. And so you can scan anything with Bobby Approved, and it'll really help you reset. Oh, is this what I want to put in my body too? And I'll just make my own stuff too. Like I said, I make my own hummus. It takes literally 5 minutes, and it's so easy, and I like it better. And you know what you're eating, right? When you're at home, you're able to really be healthy rather than store-bought stuff in your house, and microplastics and all the crap that goes with that. So I'm sure I'm getting them anyway though. So that was really great to start the year with that detox and cleanse, me and Justin together, and reset my gut. So I felt really good starting the year, and it was a foundation, a new foundation, and I am now fitting in my clothes and things like that. So then I really started looking at hormones. I looked at them with Risa and with Ways to Well. And Risa thought that my hormone could use a little, my thyroid could use a little tweaking. I've been on the exact same thyroid medication and amount for probably 12 years now. And that's been fine. I take a pill every morning. It's a generic version of Synthroid. And so that I've been getting from Ways to Well for years. And so that she wanted to tweak it a little bit. And actually I felt horrible on that. I felt like I was a ball of anxiety. I felt sick in the afternoons. So I stopped and told her. And so that wasn't for me. I've still maintained just my same thyroid medicine. And so sometimes it takes trying it and then discovering that it doesn't work. I don't really recommend that, but anyway, sometimes it's also when you're perimenopausal like me. I'm not menopausal yet. And sometimes when you're perimenopausal, I've done shows on this, and there can be a lot of fluctuations. So with hormone fluctuations and thyroid, it can be sort of a hit and miss in trying to figure it out. You really have to pay attention to how you feel. And on top of that, you're like, oh, wait, what did I eat? Did I sleep enough? Etc. So frustrating, right? It can be literally, where's my stress level? How's my cortisol? Hey. All right. So really worked with her and Ways to Well on the thyroid, my hypothyroid, and then my energy levels with my hormones. And so they decided that I could boost my hormones. So I started taking estrogen, and that I'm still kind of playing with. I take it at night, and I don't take it every day. And when I do take it, I get a weird hot flash. I call it my burning orb. I get a burning orb in the middle of my chest and back. It's almost like someone stabbed a giant hot, a log through my chest, and like on fire, and I'll just sweat just right there, just my chest and back. It's so cute. And so that's something I'm still kind of playing with. We also got progesterone. I'm going to read you my supplements too in a minute, and when I take them. Risa had me taking things 4 times a day. That's too much for me. Can't do it. I never took the ones in the middle of the day. I can barely remember to take morning and night. And so now I just take morning and night, and I'm able to pretty much remember that. So I'm going to list off everything that I'm taking. However, keep in mind, this is tailored to my blood work, and you can get yours tailored to yours too, right? And Risa has some different programs that you can do with her too. You don't have to spend the money to do the full program. And when I say it costs money, I mean, it wasn't outrageous. And she'll offer you, a package of so many meetings with her. And I was like, no way, I can't pay for all that. And so I cut it way down. So anyway, that's something to think about. And if you mention this podcast too, I think you get 10% off if you want to do that with her. So you could check the show notes and she'll probably still honor that. All right. So let's see. Okay. We've talked about hormones, and I'm going to get to exactly what I take in just a few minutes. So let's see. I told you I cut sugar. I told you I high quality food. I really do try to do plant-based, but I'm not always. Sometimes I want a burger. Sometimes I eat Cane's. Sometimes I want chicken strips. And so you don't have to adhere. Do it more often than you don't. That is what I do. Today I'm eating plant-based, right? As much as possible. I have no dairy in my diet. I can eat a little gluten. I like a piece of bread. Personally, I have avocado toast with regular bread. And so that's just me. But most of the time I'll cut out gluten, and I'll really watch my sugar intake. I don't drink any sugary drinks except maybe at the movies I'll have a Sprite. So no alcohol, none of that. And so I eat more often than I don't. In fact, probably 80% of the time I'm dialing all that in. And then, you know what? Then I'll go out to eat and I'll have a burger or something. So what? But then again, I eat a lot of just salmon when I go out to eat. Usually you can find something like that, right? And so I've incorporated more meat than I used to, just sheerly because I feel better when I eat it, and instead of just solely plant-based. I think even the times that I've been vegan, I've been just mostly vegan. I've never been, I can't say never, but I don't know the longest stretch that I've gone as just vegetarian, because then I would have one spot in there where I ate some chicken or something like that. So anyway, take that for what it's worth. Take it, leave it, whatever. Let's talk about working out. So working out, as I said, I reconnected with walking and a simple weight circuit. So that is what I do. I have read that on the treadmill, because I like to walk outside some, but I also go to the gym and do a treadmill routine. So I'm going to share that right now. So I've read that if you walk at a 10% incline at 3.0 miles per hour for 30 minutes, that is like a badass fat burning routine. Well, frankly, a 10% incline is so freaking hard. So I can't really do it. I'm not there yet. And I'm in decent shape. I walk a lot. So here's what I do. I changed it to intervals because I get so bored on a treadmill. So I do intervals. So I started doing 3-minute intervals. I start at maybe a 1% incline, and then I work up to a 3% incline at maybe 5 minutes. And then I work up to a 5% incline at about 10 minutes. Then at about 17 minutes, 15 minutes, I'll work up to a 7.5% incline. And then for the last 10 minutes of my 30-minute walk, at 20 minutes, I will go up to a 10% incline. And my heart is pumping. So within that structure of these incremental incline adjustments, I will do intervals. And so I'll do 3-minute intervals. And so the first 3 minutes is at 3.0 miles per hour. And then the next 3 minutes, 3 to 6 minutes, is anywhere from 4.5 to 4.8 miles per hour. And I try to go faster when the incline's lower, and then walk for 3 minutes. And the key for me is a bangin' playlist. I have to have a banging playlist. And so I've made really good playlists, a lot of fun music. I love Confusion by New Order, and I'd be happy to share it. Maybe I can put it in the show notes. I'll do that. And I like 80s remixes, and I have Strut by Sheena Easton, some crazy remix of it. And I'm like dancing on the treadmill. And so that keeps me going. Cannot listen to a podcast on the treadmill. I get bored beyond tears. I want to quit. I slow down. This will keep you moving. This is my recommendation anyway. So take that for what it's worth. And so every 3 minutes, I keep an eye on, and then you get to slow down to 3.0 for 3 minutes and then back up to 4.8, 4.7, 4.5, whatever it is. So that's what I've been doing, right? And so that's my routine. My routine gets me out of the gym in under an hour for sure, oftentimes 45 minutes. And so as I'm wrapping up my walk, I start to think, okay, what am I going to do when I work out? What do I want to work on my body, right? Do I want to do some kettlebell swings? Do I want to do biceps, triceps, whatever it is? And you just look around at the gym, get some inspiration. There's this class of women with this badass trainer at the gym I go to, and they're always meeting in the morning. She like runs them through different workouts and like weights and stuff. And so I just watch them and I totally get new ideas. And then, just watch your form, look on Instagram, really work on your form. But it's so easy. And then pick 5 exercises. Do like one kettlebell swing or something for lower body, then and arms, and then do an arm something, another arm something, an ab something, and then maybe like some standing jumps or lunge jumps or something like that really gets your heart pumping, or even a plank for a minute. Cycle through that 3 times, then go stretch, and you're done. I live for stretching. Oh my God. Always stretch. I stretch my feet. I stretch my Achilles. I love stretching. So always do that too. And so this goes along to, I wanted to just say, if you're wondering about weight training, I've been training like heavier. We did an episode number 216, how to transform your body and life after 40 with Terry Tetiosian. I think I'm pronouncing that right. She was awesome, but she talks about, muscle mass is the key to aging well. And so one of the keys to that is progressive overload, which is lifting heavier and heavier. So my last set, I just try to lift as heavy as I can for maybe 8 times. I always wear gloves. That is another key of the workout. Have a little fanny pack always ready to go with your gloves in it, with your headphones charged up, and you're ready and off to the races, right? Maybe a hair tie, something like that. And then you can just grab it and go with your water. Because if I forget either of those things, I'm screwed. So like if I forget my headphones, a workout is just not happening. So that's some of my challenges, like advanced preparation, because getting there is probably, to me, 75% of the battle. So then just stepping on there, I have to turn my brain off and just do it, not think. So I say keep it simple and practical. If you're like, I want to go to Pilates and all that kind of stuff, yeah, maybe. But I was copping out on those. I was thinking those were going to get me in shape. And really, the simpler I keep it, the better it is. And so if people ask me what I do, that's what I do. That's what works for me. And I just like it. It's simple, and I like it over quick. And I like to do it on my own schedule, right? You'll build strength, you'll build confidence, you'll build well-being, and just stay consistent. I wish I did it every day. I don't. I do it probably 4 to 5 times a week. And when we travel, I'm trying so hard to become a person who works out when I travel. So that's been something I've been building up to this year. That's the person I want to be, right? All right, so it has paid off. And now like today, I haven't gotten to it yet, but I know I did it yesterday. I know I did it the day before. I may blow it off and do it tomorrow. I may just sauna and walk today or something like that. So anyway, you don't have to do it every day. More often than not. There's our little key phrase, more often than not. Okay, so let's talk about supplements. I have been working hard to stay on top of my supplements. We hear a lot about magnesium. I've been taking that. We hear a lot about zinc. We hear a lot about hormones. So let me read you. I took a photo of my thing that Risa made me that I've added to. And so I want to just tell you what I take every day. So I take a D vitamin. I take Her B Ultra, which is everything B. including B12, because I don't get enough B12. I use a lot of nutritional yeast, but still. I take something called Hemavite Plus from her, but I'm almost done with it. That was specific to me. In the morning, I'm taking Bilamin. That's like a marine amino acid, I believe. And I think it is. I don't know. I could be wrong. It's something she gave me that is another one that's going to run its course that I'm not going to have to take anymore, that she gave me after the GI. I take HPLR. I take a biofilm CLR. I take my compounded T3 and T4. That's the Synthroid that I was talking about. I take a lysine because I have herpes. If you have herpes, either on your lip or genital, then highly recommend taking lysine every day. I take it every day and it will like make you not even have a breakout. So that's really great. I have topical testosterone. Oh, then in the evening, let's talk about evening. In the evening, I have my zinc. I have magnesium, but I've also started taking a magnesium in the morning called Magnesium Breakthrough from BioOptimizers. So I am taking probably, in the morning, I'm probably taking 500 milligrams. And then, let's see, I think that's how much this is. And then in the evenings, I am taking 2 more specific magnesium. So I'm taking like close to 1,000. Is it milligrams? I should know that. I think it's milligrams a day. So then at night, I'm also taking a DHEA with progesterone. I have a topical testosterone that I only do sometimes. I don't know why. It does something to my skin, turns it darker. I don't know. I like it sometimes. I'm taking the Recover capsules from Ways to Well. I'm taking some estrogen. And what did I miss? What did I miss? That's it. The magnesium, right? The zinc. Okay, so that is what I've been taking and how I'm trying to dial in my supplements. And so it's a work in progress. I don't know. I guess there's people out there who are so good about their supplements, but I'm a little spotty. So right now I plan them out. I'm actually planning them 2 weeks in advance now. Making sure I've got everything, making sure it's all laid out. Excuse me, I got to take a sip of water. Making sure I'm not out of anything. And then I go ahead and put them all together. I lay them out every morning then, and I make sure and take them. Okay. So consistency. Consistency is a big one, not only with the supplements, with the diet, right? More, and you know what? Supplements more often than I don't. Boom. There. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about emotional and relational prep for a few minutes. So one of the other things that I've done, and you might have heard me talk about it on the show, is I hired an intimacy coach for Justin and I. Her name is Julia, and she is a fantabulous. I love her. I need to put her Instagram in the show notes. Oh, I think it's Julia, Jeweliaa. I think that's correct. I will look it up and put it in the show notes. She has been absolutely fantastic. And again, I've got a guy who was like, great, I'm in. Let's do intimacy coaching. If that's what you want to do, let's learn, let's get closer. And we've gotten so much closer and learned so many strategies that we love, like containment. And it's so beautiful and special. And it's made us talk about things that we didn't expect and get down to our core desires. I am really hoping to do an episode with her soon too, just to tell about some of the things that she helps people with and that have helped us. So that was really, really cool for us to feel more connected. And we're going to keep it up now after the wedding. And I feel like it serves me and my soul. It helps me feel connected to my partner. And, you know, when you're looking at anything about wellness, they talk about community, they talk about connection, and sexual connection is so important to all of us. And so why not prioritize that as something that's really going to make you glow, right? And like serve you from the inside out. So I think that has been a big one, excuse me, a big one for me as well. That's why I wanted to address it as something that I've done to glow at my wedding and really open me up in my 50s. So, really beautiful intimacy coaching. I completely recommend it. Any type of self work that you can advance in, I think is really valuable as long as it's not coming from a place of, oh, I need to be fixed, because you don't need to be fixed, right? We can always get better, but there's nothing that really needs fixing in you. You are perfect just the way you are. And so, how can we connect more, get better, connect with ourselves more, love ourselves more, all of those things? Okay, so next and finally, no, let's not forget face, right? What did I do to my face? Oh boy, so looking at myself right now. For my face, I have stopped getting any filler in my lips. I've done that for a long time. I haven't gotten any filler in my face. I've gotten a different type of Botox or neurotoxin in my forehead only. It is called Xeomin, Xeomin, I think it is. And I don't get much. I mean, you can tell if you can see, I can move my forehead. And that's what I like about Xeomin. It allows you to move. It allows movement. And so I go to Casey at Restora. She is awesome. I also love Saving Face. And so that's what I've been doing. I haven't gotten any filler in my lips, any filler in my cheeks, any filler anywhere else. I've just laid off of it completely. I feel like there's other things to do these days, and that's just not feeling good to me. I don't know. As I age, I want to get the full deep plane facelift, and I hope to next year, so we'll see. But I do get a lip flip, which is sort of like Botox in your top lip. And that just helps relax that so it doesn't curl under. And that's it. That's all I did as far as anything needle based. And then I did a series of exosome microneedling treatments with Simia Paris, and I did 3 of those, but that was a little over a year ago. I stopped. I felt like my skin was a little too thin, and so I did that, and it was great. But then I just got facials. I just got hydrofacials and used good skincare. I don't use a retinol. Everyone thinks I'm insane. I know. It's a personal thing. It makes me break out. It makes me red. I don't know. I don't like it. I feel like my skin's too sensitive. And so I don't always use that. So anyway, I love glycolic. I use glycolic at night, which is the glycolic cream from SkinCeuticals. My favorite. I love that stuff. So I slather that on at night. I use a ton of masks. I did this CO2 mask. It's like a series of 3 that you do, I don't know, for 2 weeks or something. So I did those. I got those at the doctor's office. I did those for about 2 weeks before the wedding, like, I don't know, every 4 or 5 days. And hydrofacials. I think I did hydrofacials every 3 weeks or so for about 4 months before the wedding. And I felt like I was glowing. I felt really good about my skin. And so that was all I did for my skin. Isn't that a trip? No spray tans. Didn't do a spray tan. I kind of stopped because it always comes off my face anyway. And so I just blew that off completely. And I don't know, I'm just kind of over it anyway. So let's talk about then managing stress when you have a big event in your life. I'm not a pro at this, guys. I wish I was. It was a destination wedding in Sedona. The budget was way over what I thought we were going to spend. I tried, but everything adds up. And then you see all the line items and you're like, that's not much. And then you see the total and you're like, I don't understand math anymore. And so it was stressful money wise. It was stressful asking people to come, the whole 9 yards. But everything turned out better than I expected. Doesn't it almost always? And so anyway, I wish I'd been able to relax a little bit more. I got a migraine a week before the wedding, a week before we left, and could not even move, couldn't do anything. So I had to just fully surrender. My body was like, okay, we're just going to chill. And my body just gave up. And so I had to just deal with a migraine that radiated all the way down my back. And I guess it was just from stress and overload. And I had a few days that, like before we left, I had about 5 days that I'd cleared my schedule. And I was like, I'm going to work out. I'm going to take good care of myself. I'm going to be just like feeling so good, eat so healthy. And instead, I couldn't do anything. I literally could not do anything. And so I took some medicine and just slept and rested. And you know what? Everything was fine. So just prioritize your own self care. Sometimes you're going to have something happen physically that you don't anticipate, and it can take you by surprise. It happened to me, and it happens. And I thought I was being so healthy, and I think that something just took its toll. It was painful. So, and that is very rare for me. It only happens in times of high stress. And I think I just really, you know what? My thing is not events. I have never been the one that wants to throw a party. I don't want to host an event. I have like something in me that just gets so stressed about that. I don't know why. And it is really a challenge for me and really a stretch. I usually say no to being on event committees and things like that because it stresses me out. And it's taken me a long time to learn that. And I wish I could relax around it more, but I get real wound up because I have perfectionist tendencies, and letting those go is something that I have to practice all the time. And so, I mean, listen to the first episode of this entire podcast. I talk about that. And so anyway, so it was just like, whew, glad I don't have to do this again. And it did turn out better than I ever expected, but I had a physical manifestation of my stress. So there we are. So, all right. What are our key takeaways here? First of all, thank you for listening. And I hope you got something out of this. If you have something coming up, it's a long game, right? I didn't do like a cramming for an exam. I didn't like hustle prep for this. And I should add to my daily routines. Just a few things about my daily routines. Let me just cover those. In the mornings, I always splash my face with cold water. I use a toner. I like an Eminence pineapple toner. I also use Glutaril, which is a topical glutathione. I have talked to the founder here on the show if you want to listen to that. I use that every single day, and I spray that. I forgot that in my supplements. I spray that on my stomach. It smells disgusting, like rotten eggs. Ugh. I don't know. That's just glutathione, but I do that every day in the morning, splash my face with cold water. I said that right. And then, take my pill and I do some gratitude work, things like that every single morning. Before bed, or at bedtime, first of all, I prioritize sleep. I try to get 8 hours. I never, ever hit snooze, ever. Don't hit snooze. It'll make you tired all day. I try to tell everyone I know that. And so I never hit snooze. I try to get 8 hours of sleep. And I have been using a nasal strip. Oh my God. It's called Aspire. It is badass. And like, it's magnets that you stick on your nose and it opens up your nose. And ever since I got a nose job in my 40s, my nose is kind of blocked, and so it helps me so much. And I mouth tape here and there. I don't always. And then I wear a night guard because I have TMJ. I grind my teeth. I wear sleep shades. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay. So that's what I do at night. And I just prioritize healthy sleep like a mofo. So I'm thinking of everything. I think I've got it all there. So, all that said, all this wellness and in our 50s starts with these foundations, right? Go ahead and do the testing if you can. If not, it's okay. Just get basic about stuff, right? Reset those foundational eating things and try to do them more often than you don't. But it is going to help if you can test your hormones. And I've heard people talk about it forever, and it always felt extremely complicated to me. And it doesn't have to feel so complicated. You can just start pecking away at it, and you'll start to understand it more the more time goes by. That's the way it's been for me, because I just felt like it was huge and overwhelming, and I didn't even want to do it because it was just too much. And the more I've done it, now I'm able to understand it a little bit better. And it's just progress, right? It's just like anything else. It's just a practice. It's just something that you start and then you begin to understand it more and more. You're not going to jump in with a massive Brian Johnson level of knowledge, right? So just go easy on yourself. Get that testing done if you can. And then, of course, just really look at your habits, right? Clean eating, your workouts, your supplements. Do them more often than you don't. That's one of my highest recommendations. Really connect with your friends, connect with your partner. If you need to work on intimacy, there are so many things out there. I have an episode coming up with Susan Bratton, a friend of the show. And she has so many free programs that you can do with your partner. And you can just, or even buy one of those decks, or even just look online for like a list of questions that are free, right? And it's so much fun. We even took a deck on our honeymoon and would just like pull them out and just talk about who knows what. There's just a random assortment of questions from your past or things you dream of. And it can just foster that connection and intimacy and really getting to know each other and feeling super connected. And that is that inside out glow. And you're going to connect with yourself too. So again, this was the long game, right? And I just wanted to share it all because people have been asking. Start where you are. Take it one piece at a time. Maybe something in here spoke to you. That's what I did. It was gradual over a year. You have time. You've got this. You can move through it and take your time. It's okay. I promise you, it's okay to take time, and you don't have to do it all at once. So try to relax. So next time, I'm going to do another solo episode too about hope. So if you're feeling like, oh gosh, I feel down about something, I'm going to be telling you a little bit about hope and providing you some hope in relationships and for yourself. And I hope this gave you some hope too. And I'm so honored that you were here. Thank you so much. Follow me on social media, of course, at Real Amy Edwards. Sign up for the newsletter, amyedwards.com.info. And I love you. Oops, sorry, I hit my mic. I just love you so much. And, what was I going to say? Oh, my hair is the Collective ATX. I got to give a shout also to Skyrock Sedona, the most amazing crew and hotel in Sedona. They were absolutely fabulous, and I cannot shout them out enough. I love them so much. And so thank you to them for helping make our wedding really special. And if you're thinking of going to Sedona, go. I forgot how freaking gorgeous it is. And stay at Skyrock. Give it a shot. It's gorgeous. So anyway, I'm just so grateful to you for being here today. I love you so much. Reach out. Tell me what spoke to you. Remember that no matter what age you are, there's always room for transformation and to feel even better than you do today. So keep shining bright. I love you so much. Till next time.